How's it going, guys? Balder here, and I am playing Microsoft Flight Simulator. So this is NeoFly. If you're unaware of NeoFly, NeoFly is this program that allows you to, play Flight Simulator, but get paid as a general aviation pilot. There are various different types of missions that you can do, ranging from passengers to pretty much everything, really. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and do tourists as well. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to try to do something that will not work with the drop zone. 3 passengers, they want to go to Texas. Alright. KHEZ to KRCK. Okay. That works for me. It pays 27,000. It's 260 miles away. No, 298 miles away. 465. Alright. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, now it's time. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but if I got a plane and it wasn't a glass cockpit, I'd be perfectly fine with it. I mean, worst comes to worst, I could just buy a GPS and that wouldn't be a problem. Alright, so since this is a tailwind, I may rotate at 70 knots instead of 65. Let's find out.
Transporter, good flight.
Alright, we've taken off. You would be happy with almost anything as long as it got sky beneath you. Hey, I am perfectly in agreement with you. In fact, I was thinking about getting my sports pilot license so I don't have to worry about medicals in between, Because at the end of the day, I just like flying. I don't care if I'm stuck within 50 miles. What I do find interesting, though, is that there should be a chat box, but it's not showing. No, it doesn't matter too much. Yeah, so this is interesting. This is in Louisiana, and I haven't really done a huge amount of flights that have been within the southern United States. Which is strange because there is a lot of general aviation and a lot of airports within these rural areas of the South. So there's a lot of places to be found. In fact, just by looking at this, it's a town within a forest. Sure, it doesn't look like the prettiest thing, but if you want seclusion, it is there. So, what can I do for my autopilot? flight direction here. Things are getting a bit bumpy. We're good. LSAs are great planes to fly. Or did you mean L4A, or... I don't think I've ever heard of that. Oh hey, Mighty Mississippi, by the way. So yeah, let me read that. Here in Australia, we have had new category G weight allowed that actually allows 152s. Okay. To be registered and flown under our sports license. Until I finish my nav endorsement, I can only fly up to 25 nautical miles away from my aircraft, like sports aircraft. Yeah, I get that. I mean, for me, medical is a bitch because of extra things that I have to do. So that sports license would probably be good. Plus, with Cessnas, I'd have to check, but I think that your average GA aircraft, at least in the United States, should be able to work with a sports license. I just don't think a Cessna 172 would be one of them. Also, I am going to be climbing to about 4,500 feet above sea level. I prefer to have some altitude on my side more than anything else. But what I can tell you is that probably my least favorite plane is the Alaris, which is definitely something you can get in the light sport realm of flying. Yeah, so the amount of fuel that I have is going to be in a bit of a, going to be a little problematic. But if I'm low on fuel, I can land at the nearest airport and then fuel up. No big deal. It's just a bit of a long ways to go.
3 hours later.
Yeah, 3 miles out, no sign of the airport. That was a nice sneeze. Yeah, so mixture is full rich. Is that the runway? I think so. Cool. So I'm not gonna traffic pattern that. I'm going to teardrop over the town, and then I'm going to set myself up for landing. There's a plugin for voice attack. The problem with voice attack is that it uses MS speech recognition engine, which isn't the best. Also, the plugin is used for in-cockpit stuff like changing radio frequencies. Sounds a bit conflicting if you ask me. I know it's a little bit early, but I can put in some flaps. I prefer being able to radio call from the game, executing that call. No, I agree with you there. You know, this is kind of a reverse base leg, but
Kilo Romeo Charlie Kilo Traffic Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is on base runway 17.
okay, we lost plenty of altitude, so gonna say
Kilo Romeo Charlie Kilo Traffic Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is on final runway 17 to land.
I don't mind a little bit of sound issues if it means I can land with decent FPS. Now, with that said, what the hell is this tower? Why is it on the freaking runway? Whatever.
Transporter, almost done. Go to the parking.
I mean, you have to admit, that's a pretty poor place for a tower. Technically not currently allowed in controlled airspace with my recreational pilot certificate, but I am close to a private pilot license by the time I have my nav endorsement. I will need to practice controlled airspace. Honestly, controlled airspace isn't that bad. Like, class B and C, or Class C and D airspaces require a two-way radio communication acknowledgement, and Class B airspace, you just need to follow the instructions of the air traffic controller. It's not that hard. I flew out of Salt Lake City International numerous times as a student pilot, and for one, Salt Lake is not a small airport. And two, it wasn't that bad, really. The biggest thing is wake turbulence. Like if you're, especially if you're taking off or planning on landing on an international airport, you kind of don't want to worry about that. Looks like the airport's lighthouse. We have one at our airport here, but not that close to the runway. I wonder if it's a glitch with the mapping software. Yeah, I mean, the FAA is never going to allow a tower that close to the runway. It's clearly a glitch from the wonderful Asobo team. But yeah, this looks like such a compact airport that it's not even funny. Like, take a look. The taxiway's practically non-existent. You can barely fit a plane onto the taxiway. And let's not talk about the apron. Or the fact that there's like this spray paint of a freaking King Air. Or a Beach Baron right there. So yeah, this is a pretty crappy design for an airport. And you have Asobo to thank for that one. Alright, so let's head back to NeoFly and set the parking brake.
Transporter, disembarkation in progress. Stand by.
And yes, they're exiting the aircraft with a moving propeller. I don't mind. This is $30,000 into my pocket.
Transporter from dispatch. Everyone is on the bus. Check that they haven't forgotten anything. Have a nice day.
All right. There we go. And we are done with that. Got myself a nice 30 grand. Comfort bonus, safety bonus, landing bonus. I mean, it was negative 196. That's what you generally feel on a passenger plane anyway. So true to life with all these people walking down an aisle, removing their overhead luggage in a Cessna 172, right? I mean, look at how much overhead space you're given in this wonderful, luxurious Cessna. All the overhead space in the world. Alright, so that said, let's go ahead and get this thing turned off. So taxi light, nav light, great. Avionics have to go off. And now the mixture. Magnetos come off. Beacon comes off. Battery goes off. Why this is still on, I have no idea. Probably because of this. Alright, there we go. So that was Microsoft Flight Simulator with NeoFly. Thank you guys for joining me, but after a 3.5 hour live stream, I think I'm going to relax. But hey, with that said, you guys, have a nice day.